In this corner, weighing in at a hefty 933 pounds, is a 2012 Candy Red GL 1800. It has an 1832cc liquid-cooled, horizontally opposed 6-cylinder engine, 5-speed manual transmission with electric reverse, progressive monotube suspension, and fully dressed with pretty much every Kuryakyn accessory you could possibly dream up. It's been featured in many Wingstuff videos and magazine ads over the years. In the other corner, weighing in at a slim 833 pounds, is a 2018 Pearl Hawkeye Blue DCT Tour Goldwing. It has an 1833cc liquid-cooled, horizontally opposed 6-cylinder engine that's a whole cc more than the previous model. Impressive. With a 7-speed automatic DCT transmission with walking mode, a double wishbone front suspension system, custom traction dynamic suspension upgrade, and an industry-first infotainment system with CarPlay, this reimagined wing is the talk of the town. Today's guest is no stranger to Goldwings. He's grown up around them, worked on them, and has owned one model or another since 1985. Louis Preston and I go way back. We've been great friends for over 25 years, and in that time, we've logged a lot of miles and made some great memories. Our shared love of all things Goldwing makes him a perfect addition to this episode of Rollin' with Rick. Hey, what are you doing?
What's going on, Rick?
I knew you'd be here soon. You had a good flight?
Absolutely.
Good. All right, well, I got the bikes outside. You ready to ride?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right, I was waiting on you. Let's do it. It's a beautiful morning in San Clemente, California.
Absolutely.
I always enjoy going over Ortega. It's just such a beautiful road, no matter how many times I do it.
Well, I was trying to think about the last time I was over Ortega, and I think it was, I want to say 85. It's been a couple of days, Rick.
Sounds like it. Shopping center to the left here is all new.
And an In-N-Out.
And an In-N-Out.
The last time I rode this, the Ortega Highway, was on my 85 Aspencade. So I left the military, came back to the family business after we had bought Bush Tech, and we had a guy come to pick up a trailer one day. It was on a GL 1200, and I walked out. It was my motorcycle.
Oh boy.
It showed up at Bush Tech in like 1980 or 91 or 92.
Oh, that's hilarious. Wow, what are the odds of that?
Apparently pretty good. They weren't happy at the speed we were riding at.
We're going at a pretty good clip. It's okay. We're not in a race.
Oh, God, look at that.
Is that beautiful? How's that for a view?
Oh my God, look at that.
That's very nice. Well, it turned out to be a pretty good day.
Yeah, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, I was always curious. So Where did you get the name Electrical Connection, like in the beginning? How did you even start this thing? What made you start your company? I'm just curious.
Working with Bush Tech, we saw...
Which is the company your dad bought
That was my...
after he owned Custom Touring.
Right, the family trailer business.
Yeah.
We kept seeing little needs that weren't being addressed in the market. When the wire gauges got smaller on motorcycles and you just couldn't simply tap in to add things, we had to come up with a more logical way to do it. So we started building little relay boxes. The first product that we actually did was called the battery monitor. So we took 25 to Bike Week the first year, and I had a little display set up in the Bush Tech tent. We sold out the first day. I kind of figured we might be onto something.
So you're lucky because your dad owned Goldwing Custom
Touring Design.
Custom Touring, right?
Right.
And so, he's selling all these Goldwing accessories, but installing them, which
Right.
is something the dealers didn't like to do.
No.
Because they didn't know how to do it.
Well, at the time I was 13, 14.
Right, but you were around all that stuff.
I was, and I had skinny little arms and tiny little hands, and
I remember that.
I could pull a fairing off of an 1100, put a full Type 2 audio system in, and have the fairing back on the bike in 2 hours. Oh God, that looks beautiful.
That looks like a country breakfast to me.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't look like a city breakfast.
Not at all.
You and I have been friends for, God, way over, like, what, 25 years?
Well, probably more than that.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Because when I was real friendly with your dad and I was taking care of him, we were both a lot younger then.
All right.
But you're probably right. I think it's like over 30 years. So what do you think about the new Goldwing? That's the talk of the town, right?
I'm in love with that Goldwing. 11,000 miles in 10 months, road testing product. And just riding gives me inspiration for products.
Yeah, we're just not doing this because we do it. We love what we do, right?
No, this is what I've done, for almost 40 years now. Well, every time the Goldwing come out, I'd be like, how can you improve on this?
Yeah.
And Honda's hit it out of the park in this 2018.
I agree with you. By the way, I like making my sandwiches. No, they did. I mean, the bike is unbelievable.
Yeah.
100 pounds lighter and just everything about it. I'm in love with it.
I think we're, right now, have close to 12 products in development. And we're not a huge company, so for us, that's quite a number.
That's what I love about you, though.
Well,
You got a lot of
since
passion.
we're smaller, we're able to do things that other
Exactly.
people can't.
That's what I mean.
And plus, 80% of what we do is built in the U.S., so our timelines are shorter.
So when you moved from California, when Bush Tech moved over to Tennessee, how did that go?
Well,
Was that like culture shock or what? You're a
not-
California boy, right?
not as bad as you think. We had outgrown the facility that we were in, so we had to have something bigger. And at that point, it didn't make a difference if we moved 25 miles or 2,500 miles. If we were leaving California to go to Bike Week, it was a 4-day straight drive out, and we were having a tag team.
Sure.
My dad, my brother, and myself go down, work for 10 days,
Right.
4 days straight drive back. You're just exhausted.
That puts you in the middle of everything.
Yeah, Tennessee
Over there,
was 12 hours to Daytona, 14 hours to Americade. But the real reason we did this, Mom had this great idea. She put a U.S. map in the office, and every trailer that we sold, we put a push pin in it. And we found that 75% of the trailers that we sold ended up east of the Mississippi, and of that number, 70% were within 300 to 500 nautical miles of Knoxville. At the time, the touring capital in the U.S. was Ohio. So logistically, it made sense for
That's true.
our customers to be back east. Everything fell into place. It just went the way it was supposed to.
Well, I'm glad. How's your brother Andrew doing?
He's doing well.
Yeah.
He
Talk to him once in a while.
he has a 2018, but he bought a 6-speed,
What color?
white. We went down to Daytona for Biketoberfest. Rode down together, then he had to ride back, and I continued on and knocked Key West off on my bucket list.
You got any rides planned ahead? Any trips or anything? Or what?
I think I'm going to do Route 66 next.
Hello, everybody.
I've kind of had that on my list for a while, and I've not done it yet.
What's an average day in the life of Lewis? What do you do every day?
We have to buy a lot of connectors and components from Asian suppliers, whether it's Japan or Taiwan.
Let me know when you're going. So if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what do you think you'd be doing?
Oh my God.
Don't say a dancer. And
Trust
don't
me,
say a singer
no,
either.
No, neither one of those are going to happen. There's no worry about that. I think I was an air traffic controller for the Army for a number of years. I probably would have retired out of that. I had a conversation with Dad, and he asked me to come back and work for the family. So I did. I didn't re-enlist. So I think I probably would have done 20 as an air traffic controller. I love the job. The only
A lot of stress.
It's like anything, it's all in how you handle it.
All you hear about is how overwhelmed they are,
Hey,
Meanwhile, we're flying in the sky. I don't want to hear that.
Take care of yourself, and that deals with itself. But I mean, I get to play with motorcycles all day. I mean, how awful is that?
You know what? We're both doing what we love to do. We're very lucky. The new bike just does everything the old bike does better.
With the exception, maybe hold as much luggage. That's the only
less
thing
luggage.
it doesn't do as well.
Then you stick a trailer hitch on it, a receiver hitch, put a rack on there, and you can put a bag on the rack.
Right. Or
a box.
pull a trailer.
Or pull a trailer.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I've got about 8,000 miles of a trailer behind this new bike.
I have some people that I look up to, and besides knowing a lot of people, there are certain people that I think had a big influence in a positive way on the industry, like Craig Vetter in the beginning. A lot of people forgot that he was the one that came out with the frame-mounted fairing, the Windjammer. And we were putting them on CB750 Hondas, we were putting them on GL1000s, they didn't have fairings.
I've got a 77 wing, it's got a full Vetter on it. Fairing, saddlebags, trunk.
So he'd be one of them, but I don't know, who do you think? I mean, I have some names too that I throw around. Fred Rao.
Well, I owe my business to Fred Rao. Fred somehow got a hold of one of those battery monitors, and this was when he was editor of Motorcycle Consumer News.
That is correct.
They started a new section called Product of the Month. We were the first one.
I remember that.
I had no idea. I don't know how he got a hold of this thing, but called it the Innovation of the Month. And our phone just rang off the hook for that battery monitor.
I used to supply them with a lot of the accessories they used to use for their reviews because they didn't want to contact the companies directly, thinking that they might pick out the best paint job on whatever helmet or look at all the gloves and get the ones that didn't have a problem with a seam. So they used to buy everything through me, and I would supply them with all this stuff, and I just order it so that they got what the consumer would get. Right?
So there's probably a chance that you sold Fred the battery monitor.
There's a good chance of that. You have to come out again. And,
I will. Maybe I'll ride out.
It's a little bit of a trek, but yeah, why not? Then you're going to tell me, okay, ride back with me. That's a little far. I have a fun mover, we can put the bikes in the back, but
yeah,
we should take a ride. We should maybe even meet halfway or something. We can figure something out, or maybe meet in Sturgis.
I've only been to Sturgis once, and it was for Bush Tech, so we didn't get to ride. It was
Sturgis is fun. I like getting there a little before the event and just riding. The riding is spectacular.
Yeah.
I've gone many times. I didn't go last year. I went the year before that. Usually every other year I go. I love it. Black Hills, nothing better.
Been a couple years since I've been up there.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to plan a ride.
Okay.
I'll come out here again and get some more days, and we'll go farther. I don't know all the roads. I keep discovering them. But I have a lot that I like, other than this one. So,
and for me, since haven't been out here forever, it's like discovering old roads all new again.
Yeah, no, that's it. I feel spoiled. I get to come up here like every other week or every week.
Yeah, but I can go to Deal's Gap every day if I wanted. So.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many other good rides out there that aren't as well known.
When you rode home and we left each other, I did that Blue Ridge Parkway for a little while. I didn't have a lot of time, but that was nice. I hadn't done that, and that wasn't part of our video.
No.
So in the future, I want to go back to that area too. I'd like to hit the Dragon again too, but I want to go from the Dragon and I want to do other stuff
Right.
from there. So I just got to get some time that I can do it.
Oh, that cabin that you all found, that was just perfectly centralized for everything.
The cabin was great.
Yeah.
I know.
What was the guy, the caretaker, Ed?
Oh, Craig. Yeah, when Matt woke up and he thought it was fake and it was a big black snake and it was moving and he was calling me up on the phone saying, there's a snake down here. I said, what? Are you kidding me? And then we call the landlord, and the landlord's in Florida. So then the landlord calls the next door neighbor, Craig, and he comes over with a rifle. He goes, I'm the next door neighbor. I'm here to shoot your snake. I'm like, well, come on in.
That's how we do it.
Boom, right there in the living room.
That's how we do it in Tennessee.
Gosh. When I saw him come in with the gun, I'm like, you're going to shoot the snake in the house? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's too big. You couldn't get it out. It was too big.
Right.
That thing was like, that had to be 5 feet long, maybe 6, and it was big. And it was nasty. It wasn't very
It
friendly.
looked like it'd been eating well, too.
Tell you what, we certainly were woken up pretty quick without coffee that morning, I'll tell you that.
It's been a good ride, literally.
And it was a good ride today.
Yeah, it's been a great ride.
All right, well, let's head out.
All right, let's get going.